Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to another video. I have tried to record a video multiple times this week. I have tried to get work tasks done all week. I have tried to go pick up my prescriptions this week, and I'm riding the struggle bus, and I'm really sort of like stuck in that feeling of apathy, and I'm not really sure how to get out of it. And I have a lot of things to get done, which typically does bring on a full nervous system shutdown. I just have a really sensitive nervous system and cannot tolerate a lot of intensity. And this week is bringing a lot of intensity. And so when this happens, I typically just end up completely shutting down and I don't get anything accomplished. And so I wanted to share with you guys a strategy that I utilize when I'm feeling like this because I'm in a chronic illness flare, and that creates the foundation of my nervous system being incredibly sensitive and prevents me from being able to do the things that I need to do. And so, what I do is I take a look at my to do list and I try to just rearrange things in a way that allows for me to still be productive without overdoing it. And so today I really needed to work on, things that are more physically oriented. We have guests coming in this weekend. And so I should be cleaning and, things like that. But I just cannot bring myself to do that. So instead, I'm going to try to do something work related that allows for me to be able to lay down and rest. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to show up as I am because there's not really a way for me to not in this moment. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. So what I'm going to try to do is just get a little bit of work on my computer done while I rest and see if that can kind of propel me into feeling a little bit more motivated to do some other things.
The right to vote. Our future depends on this fight. Bennett for governor.
End the day with endless comfort. Sleep now.
Sometimes I do get confused with my flare ups, and I think that it is, that feeling of apathy or like just depression, right? So sometimes the emotional pieces for me are I cannot get the words from the brain to the mouth, and I don't even know what the words are. Sometimes emotional symptoms come first for me. So I was just lying there thinking, why am I not taking my own advice, which is don't push through. Rest when you need to rest, because otherwise it's going to take so much longer to feel better. It's just hard when day after day after day after day you need rest and more rest. And so when do you actually get those things that need to be done? So all that's rattling through my brain while I'm trying to lay down, but I feel absolutely brain dead. I feel heavy. My muscles have a lot of lactic acid in them. It's like kind of like that feeling if you're able to lift weights and you know what that feels like, or I don't know, it's like just a burning feeling in your muscles. I haven't eaten, so I'm going to try to figure out something. It's probably going to be a frozen broth block, ice cube, whatever, super cubes. I have a lot of pressure in the in the base of my neck, or the base of my skull, and in my neck. I just want to be able to function. I just stood at the fridge for far too long. Everything sounds horrible. And I just get overwhelmed and then I lay back down. And so instead of doing that, I'm gonna try to get a couple of spoonfuls. Well, actually it's a fork because all the spoons are in the dishwasher, which are clean, but I'm not bending over to pick that up. So a spoon, fork, fork is going to do. And now I'm going to come on over here. I'm going to get the peanut butter. I'm just going to gently grab a little dab from the top so as not to contaminate. And boom. And then I also grabbed a piece of turkey bacon just to boost up the protein. And we're straight back to the couch. It's definitely not, this is just the status of my brain. My cat's looking at me like, who are you talking to? I keep my heating pad in this little blanket basket situation. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying a second ago because this brain is not doing what brains do. Oh, my legs. I cannot get my extremities warm. So I'm going to pop on this heating pad, dealing with lots of palpitations and tachycardia. So we're going to hunker down. Hey, babe.
Meanwhile, my students and I are generating millions of dollars combined every single month using this exact same method. For example, my stories that you can share with your audience about that topic. Think about skills you already have, problems you've solved for others, things that you're really...
Hey, kitty boy. My helpers. I've accomplished absolutely nothing, so sometimes the strategies don't work, and that's okay. I honestly feel paralyzed. I know I need to do something, but I just physically and mentally cannot. I would say that my worst symptoms, or the symptoms that are most difficult to function with, would be just the complete, what feels like a brain shutdown. You guys got to see a super mild version of that today, but when it gets really bad, I can't, words literally will not come out, or I use the wrong words, or the same word comes out multiple times, very repetitively. And even making very teeny decisions feels so incredibly overwhelming. My brain is just going to absolutely explode. So that's what I got going on today. That, and then when that's paired with the fatigue, the muscle fatigue and weakness. Probably cannot hear me now because Oliver's is being he's kissing the phone, being such a sweetie. Wow, that is so nice. And when the fatigue, the physical piece and the cognitive piece, buddy, can we just chill for a second? Thank you. That is so nice. That is so nice. Yeah, come here. So when those two things happen at the same time, I just feel completely paralyzed. And he's trying to get me to feed him dinner. This is what he does. He just comes and purrs and digs at me. I know you are ready for your dinner. That is so nice, babe. Thank you. Well, anyway, I'm gonna try to push myself to get up. I'm gonna go feed him dinner and figure out what we're gonna do for dinner. I think it's gonna be a chicken nuggets, and maybe I'll make some French fries or macaroni and cheese or something. And I wish I would have see, I'm bopping all over in the brain, but I wish I would have given in sooner rather than being frustrated with my body. And now I'm just rambling, so let's do this. All right, my goal is to at least get a little bit more food in me in the next couple of minutes. What I'm going to do for dinner is super easy. Frozen green beans. Got potatoes. I'm just going to cut a couple of these into wedges and soak them in some ice water for like the next hour while I go take a bath. And then I'm going to throw all of this in the oven. Gluten-free chicken nuggets. It's like some of the best ingredients that I've found. I don't eat those often, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And then I also may, not this one, this one. We'll deal with that later. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but I just shoved the cabinet shut when things were falling out of it. Might also do some mac and cheese. We'll see how adventurous we get. Low energy, throwing it together. So I'm literally just going to grab a couple handfuls of these, plop them on this sheet tray, and then I'm going to just kind of let them defrost at room temperature. I'm doing my mise en place prep. For those of you that are new, I do my dinner routine in 2 steps. So the first step is getting everything kind of ready to prepare. So if I need to do any chopping or getting pans ready or ovens prepped, that is what I do during the first time period. And then I go take a quick bath, rest a little bit, and then I come back and put it all together. So this is my mise en place. Green beans done. I just got these potatoes today, and they're sprouted. I did not shop though. Instacart shopped for me. So hopefully going to be getting those bad boys for free. The reason, where did I put the damn ice water? Okay, time out. Okay, the reason that I put the potatoes in ice water is it helps, I think it's like, I don't know, maybe breaks down the starch or something, makes them less starchy. Cool story. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this if I don't even know what it does. So basically it's just going to allow them to get crispier. That's really what it boils down to. There's science behind it. We already talked about how my brain is not doing what brains do today, so it is not in the cards for us to know. So yeah, soak them in ice water for about an hour, or whatever. Longer is fine too. I think you can do it overnight as well. But it's going to help them get crispier. I really like to have a nice special beverage while I cook dinner sometimes. These are the prebiotic and probiotic sparkling beverages. I've showed you guys these before. Good for your gut. I don't know, they're delicious. All right, we got our pot with water for our mac and cheese. I'm just going to give a quick little spray down so that everything is nice and clean and ready for me to come back for round 2. This just breaks up the cleaning into 2 sort of energy bursts. I have to do partial tasks. I'm not usually able to do everything all at once. So this is a good way for me to just keep things moving but not overdo it. All right, we have finished up our dinner mise en place. I'll show you guys what we've got. For the mac and cheese, I like to use avocado oil instead of butter. Got potatoes soaking, got the green beans, and then I've got, these are for the mac and cheese, and then obviously plates for the rest of the stuff. So set up and ready to rock. I also just set my cat up with his mouse, so if you hear him going crazy, that's what's going on. I feel a little bit better now that I am up and moving. I think it's one of those like wired but tired sort of situations, and that's usually a little bit more like cognitive for me, but sometimes getting up, and this is all cognitive work obviously, but with a little bit of physical, so I think that helped a little bit. I do also get a little bit of an energy surge around, it's 3:45 right now, so usually it's like around 3:30, so that's why I do my first round of meal prep, and then I try to get my bath done. I didn't think I was going to be able to get in the bath today, but I think we're going to give it a go, especially since dinner is set and ready. So let's do it. We've got the smallest, cutest little snack plate ever. Got like a little fatty meat stick, the pepperoni one, some grapes, a couple olives, and a piece of cheese. Hopefully my brain cooperates long enough for me to share just a brief medical update with you guys. I did the whole genome sequencing about 6 weeks ago, and I just met with my neurogeneticist yesterday to review the results. They were primarily looking for genetic mitochondrial disorders or disease, ataxia disorders, and we were looking at some cancers, and basically everything came back negative. And this is the one time when something's wrong with you that you are happy that the results came back negative. Usually it's frustrating because you're like, something is wrong and everything's coming back normal. But in this case, I'm very happy that everything is negative. I also learned a lot about how I process, how I metabolize specific medications. So that'll be helpful moving forward. And so basically, great news, you know, there's nothing rare or super dangerous or terminal going on, you know, from that perspective. And so the neurogeneticist hypothesis is that I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I'm definitely hypermobile. I have some instability in my neck, some subluxations happening in my shoulders, my elbows, my knees, my ribs, you name it. And so he's gonna evaluate me for that. Can't get it until September. But all of that is great news because that basically accounts that plus, you know, my POTS and all of the other things that I have, connective tissue disease, kind of all stems under the umbrella of hypermobile EDS. So that's great news in terms of being able to like find a unifying diagnosis for all of that. But the only pieces that are still sort of lingering are all of my central nervous system, my like neurological findings, and you know, the lesions that I had in my white matter, and then I also had a lesion on my cerebellum. I have vertical diplopia, dysmetria, ataxia, all of these, you know, objective neurological things that point toward central nervous system involvement. And I think I've shared with you guys my hypothesis all along is that this is my autoimmune disease attacking my central nervous system. So that's why we're going to get the lumbar puncture. Did I do my under eyes? I think I did. Golly. Anyway, so that is those are next steps there. And so I just need to get that lumbar puncture. I'm doing a neurocognitive exam or evaluation in July, and then should be able to piece those pieces together. So it's exhausting, right? Because I got, you know, these results yesterday, and then it's like, okay, here's another test that we need to do, and you can't get in for 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is. So it's, you know, get testing, see doctors, wait for the results, order more testing, wait for the results. And it just feels like you were constantly in it. And I think that's part of the reason why I've been feeling so drained and so just apathetic toward everything, because it's just taking all of my mental space plus being in a flare-up. Not a good combo. So I'm trying to be gentle on myself mentally. There's nothing that I can do to get out of this flare outside of rest and take care of myself. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. But I just wanted to show up as real as possible because it's not as easy as, you know, sometimes it might look for me or other people. I am deeply, deeply struggling. I'm going to be fine. It's all good. I just want to learn how to be gentle with myself so that I don't end up in the same sort of spiral, productivity pressure, push through, go fast version of me that was me last year and drove me and my health straight into the ground. So my focus is not doing that again. And I think the first step is just awareness. I'm aware that that is what's happening. And I'm aware also that when I'm in a flare, I can't think clearly. And so to put all this pressure on myself to think clearly and rationalize and continue to be productive in the ways that I think I need to is not going to benefit me right now. So
being aware of that, accepting that, and over time, consistently, I will feel some improvement with the way that I think about being stuck in this flare, in this mindset. God, I hope you guys can make sense of what is happening, because what's in my head is not coming out of my mouth, and so I'm confusing myself, and so hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. Anyway, cool story. I am gonna lay down in the bed. I thought my cat was over there, but he is not. I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some lotion on, get dressed, and then go finish dinner. It is, in fact, the next day. I got about a quarter of that dinner down and moved to the couch and was completely out for the rest of the night. So I think I slept like 10 hours last night. I was missing a couple of my medications just due to an insurance situation, and so I think that was the main reason why I have been in such a rough flare these last couple of days. I mean, it's been a few weeks, but the last couple of days were just absolutely brutal. And so onboarding those medications again yesterday, I think kind of got me back where I needed to be. So I just left the hanger clinic. I needed to get fitted for an orthotic for my left elbow. I have some like nerve impingement, like cubital syndrome, I think is what it's called, or like tennis elbow. I have thoracic outlet syndrome in my left shoulder, and just everything on my left side is jacked. So just got sized for that. I'll pick that up in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna go home and edit this video. So see you guys on Saturday morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you more than words could ever describe. I appreciate the support, and I just want to end this video saying we made it to 400 subscribers. There are 400 of you out there. I could not be more grateful, and I've just been so happy with how much you all have been engaging with my content, and leaving comments and sharing your experiences, and what you're going through on a daily basis. It just makes me feel so connected, and really reinforces why I'm here. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you on Monday.